Hey guys, I'm Steph and welcome back to my beauty stash. Today we are trying out the brand new LA Girl Tinted foundation. I picked up two shades online from Ulta Beauty, and the shades I picked up, this one is Bisque, and then this other one is Warm Beige. Bisque is the lighter one, Warm Beige is slightly darker. I was having a really difficult time trying to find my shade on the Ulta Beauty website. They really don't have like any kind of swatches or anything like that. So I just kind of, used my best judgment, and I'm going to be mixing the two shades together during this 2-day 10-hour wear test because I have it on right now. So I feel like this is a good shade match. What do you guys think? This foundation retails for $8.99, and there are 16 different shades on the Ulta Beauty website to choose from. Now, I am a fan of LA Girl makeup in general, especially their Shockwave neon liners. You guys see me use those time and time again whenever I do my eyeshadow looks and tutorials. I even enjoy using the LA Girl Pro, what is it called? The Pro Coverage Liquid Foundation. I'll put a picture of it here. This has been a good one. I like the finish of it. I do like the wear. However, this foundation only gets me a good 6 to 7 hours, and then after that it looks like a hot mess on my normal to oily skin. So seeing as how I love trying out new foundations, I thought, you know what? This looks like something I want to try out. It's at an affordable price point, which is why I bought two of them. And let's see if it's worth it. Let's see if it's worth you guys checking out and spending your money on. Now, for those of you who it's your first time here on my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Steph. I love doing foundation reviews, so there is definitely not a lack of foundation content here on my channel. I hope that if you enjoy watching this video, you'll consider subscribing, and do make sure you give it a thumbs up before heading out. But I am 39 years old and I do have normal to oily skin. I am oily primarily in my T-zone, especially my nose. Right now, my major concerns are my large visible pores. I used to have very problematic acne-prone skin growing up, and the fine lines under my eyes, which, by the way, I am in the middle of a concealer wear test. And where is it so I can show you guys? I am trying out the brand new Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear All Cover Concealer. So if you're interested in this, if it sounds like something you want to try out, definitely stay tuned because this video will be up probably after this one goes up. Now, going back to my skin and the things that I look for, I obviously like trying all different types of foundations. I prefer more medium to full coverage foundations, but skin tints, hello, are definitely having a huge moment right now, and rightfully so. We are in the middle of summer. It is so hot and humid where I live, so definitely wearing something lightweight on my skin is really going to help me stay fresh and keep my complexion looking good, hopefully, all day long. I am not opposed to trying sheer to light foundations, which this particular foundation is going to be more on the lighter side of coverage. I like all different finishes from matte to dewy. I prefer a more natural finish, something that's going to give me a healthy glow, but I don't mind trying anything. I am here to try out new products so that way we can figure out what is going to be good and what you can just pass on by. So let's get started with this 2-day 10-hour wear test of the new LA Girl Tinted Foundation. Now, before I take you through the application portion of the video, I am going to insert swatches of both shades of the foundation. I am also going to be comparing it to other foundations in my stash, and these swatches will be done outdoors in natural lighting, in the sunlight, where that is the real test. Sunlight is the real test to see if a foundation is the correct shade match for you. I will also insert a picture indoor lighting with flash. That way you can see what that is going to look like as well. Before we get started with all of that though, I like to give you all the quick details about the product that we're going to be trying. So there's really not much written here on the Ulta Beauty website. Again, it retails for $8.99. There are 16 shades available. It says that it's going to blur imperfections while hydrating the skin with a sheer to medium wash of color. So it's going to be a buildable foundation. It's going to be that perfect item for the no makeup routine. And what I do like, and it also says it here on the website, it has this little clear nozzle, like a squeezy tube type of applicator, but I love that little clear applicator there. It's kind of similar to the Fenty Bright Fix, that under eye illuminator, which by the way, I do enjoy using that one. This is going to provide a natural finish and it is fragrance free. And guys, if you're wondering about this eye look, I did film it and I used the Beige Cosmetics Passion in Paris palette. This is one of their new ones in the travel series, so definitely be on the lookout for that because it's going to come out as a YouTube short, and then it's also going to be on my Instagram as an Instagram reel. If you're not following me on Instagram, right down here guys, at Steff's Beauty Stash. I would love to have you as a follower over there on Instagram. I post a lot of beauty updates, makeup updates, selfies, pictures of my cat, just all things beauty. So continue the fun. Follow me over there at Steff's Beauty Stash on Instagram. I'd love to have you as a follower and of course as a subscriber here on YouTube. All right guys, let's get into this LA Girl Tinted Foundation review. If you want to see how this new foundation is going to wear on my 39-year-old normal to oily skin for the next 2 days, keep on watching. Alright guys, so today, even though it's the first day, I am going to wear this with a full face of makeup. So I'm going to do my makeup the way I normally would. And that's because I do have an eyeshadow palette video to film right after this. So I want to make sure I have some powder set down under my eye area. So I thought we'll just do my regular full face of makeup today. These are the two primers I'm going to be using. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Matte Putty primer in my T-zone and a little bit like right here on my cheeks, and then I'm going to use the Luminous on the perimeter of my face. Alright, so now let's start applying these. Again, I picked up two different shades. I got Warm Beige, which is going to be a slightly darker shade, and then I got Bisque. I want to say that these were like 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 in the shade range as far as the order. And I really couldn't tell. The pictures that Ulta Beauty had online, they weren't that great. So let me just swatch them. I haven't been outdoors to swatch them because it's been raining the last 2 days. Okay, so this one right here, this is the shade Bisque. And this is what the little component looks like. I love this little clear tube. It's really cute. And it's a squeezy tube type of packaging. Now let me do... And then this one is Warm Beige. So Bisque and Warm Beige. So I guess I'll just be going back and forth between the two. And I'm going to start applying first with the BK Beauty 101 foundation brush. And I'm just going to dip in to both. And let's start applying. This does say it's going to be buildable to medium coverage. So it's sheer to medium coverage. It is fragrance free. Sometimes I forget to mention, like if there's a scent. Normally I take care of that like in the detail section of the video. But if I don't mention anything, it's because I don't smell anything. So it's like there's nothing to mention, like I forget to mention it. But I do remember reading, and as you just heard, there is no fragrance. It says it's going to provide a natural finish, which I love that. So I definitely see it is providing a little bit of coverage, but definitely not full coverage because I can still see, you know, my imperfections and stuff. Try and build it up right in this area. This is always where I build up my foundation, right here on my cheeks. I like the two shades together. I think the first shade would have been too light. And then the second shade would have been a bit too dark. So that's why I just decided to pick them both up and mix them together. And when they're at such an affordable price point, you know, it's easier to do that. Like I wouldn't be able to do that with, say, you know, like a Lancome foundation or, you know, another more higher end, just because, I mean, that's gonna get really expensive. All right, so that's what it's looking like with the brush application. I would say it's pretty decent coverage, definitely not full coverage, but I think we got a good little medium coverage out of it. Now I do have a damp makeup sponge here, so I'm gonna squeeze out a little bit more of each shade. And let me put them both on my face so that you can see. So there's warm beige, and then here's bisque. So you can definitely see one might be too light, one might be too dark. Now I am starting to build it up right here. I definitely think the brush is going to give you more coverage though, but I like patting over everything with the makeup sponge. Now I don't have anything left, so I'm just going to go over all of my face with this damp sponge just to make sure everything is pressed in and seamless. All right, so this is how these new tinted foundations from LA Girl are looking. And of course, I did build them up. I think it's looking good. I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely a medium coverage. I can see the natural finish of it, and it seems to be sitting perfectly fine on my skin. It feels lightweight. It still hasn't completely set down yet, so it's still a little bit tacky. But while we're waiting for that to set, I am going to go in with a little bit of concealer, and I'm using the Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer. And the shade I have in this one is Fair. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Setting Powder, and I guess I'm going to, trying to think if I'm going to add powder to the perimeter of my face. I might just do the T-zone and under my eye area. Let's see how that looks first. I don't know if I'm gonna, you know what, I guess I'll just lightly powder the perimeter of my face, but I'm going to use a brush. I'm just taking whatever was in the cap, and this is the BK Beauty 103. Just gonna lightly set out here. Now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And let me take a closer look. My nose right here. Can you see that? It looks like it's starting to break up right there, and I just applied. It's like there's some product missing. And I don't know if that is from the powder. It had to have been because of the powder. All right, that helped it a little bit, but that doesn't look good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the way it's looking now with the powder. Like, it looks really makeup-y with the powder. All right, we'll have to see. Sometimes, like I've said before, they need time. The products just need time to mesh together to settle in with one another. So I hope that's the case with this, especially because I'm filming another video. So this is how it's gonna stay. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup off camera and part in another video. And I will be back for the midday check-in so we can see how these new LA Girl tinted foundations are going to wear on my 39-year-old normal to oily skin. Stay tuned. All right, guys, this is a 5-hour check-in with this new LA Girl foundation, and it just looks okay. I think my nose still looks really makeup-y, and it's starting to look a bit makeup-y around my mouth as well. I haven't had dinner yet. It's actually on the way to me. They're gonna deliver dinner to me. So, I don't know. It just it looks okay. Like, I like the way it looks, you know, with all of my makeup, but you know, in these areas right here, I think it could look better. And other foundations that are along the similar lines as this one, they have looked better. It kind of settled a little bit into my smile line, but nothing major. It feels lightweight, you know, it doesn't feel thick or anything like that. Right now it's just okay. And I was thinking back to the other LA Girl foundation that I have. It is I'll put a picture of it right here. That one only gets me, I like that one, but it only gets me about 6 hours. And so with this one, we're at the 5-hour mark. So I have a feeling it's gonna wear similar to that one, which I don't mind. I usually use that one if I'm just gonna, you know, go out in the evening. You know, I'm only gonna have it on for a few hours, so the 6 hours is good enough. But I have a feeling that's the way this one is going to wear. And I also think that maybe the e.l.f. primer had something to do with it, like around here as well. The combination of the primer, foundation, and powder. So I don't know. That's why I give these foundation reviews 2 days to try them in different ways with different products to see what's going to work. But we'll see how this looks in another 5 hours. So keep your fingers crossed, and I'll be back really soon. All right, guys, this is the day 1 10-hour check-in with this new LA Girl foundation. This is what I am looking like. I will say I don't feel like I got especially oily or like extra oily, or even that I look too oily, especially my T-zone. Of course, I did powder it down, but I'm kind of impressed with that. I'm also impressed that this seems to have held up better than my other LA Girl foundation, so the one I showed you earlier. So I'm a little more impressed with that because I feel like this is definitely lighter weight. It has less coverage, and for it to hold up better than that one that provides more coverage and that's supposed to be, I think, a little bit longer wearing, I like the way this one looks better. The only place like I really don't like the way it looks is on my nose, and it's right here. It's the area that gave me problems earlier when I after I had applied the powder earlier today. So I don't know, I'm kind of wanting to wear it with my regular products tomorrow instead of just not wearing it with anything. But I know a lot of you like to see what it's going to look like by itself, so I'm gonna do that. But I'm thinking I might want to just powder down my T-zone, since on my own, I do get really oily, and if you have dry skin, then obviously you wouldn't wear powder. But I think just to see how it's going to react to a different powder, at least on my nose, that's the only place that I really just want to powder. I want to test it to see, you know, is it the foundation or was it just that particular powder with the foundation? I think that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. So forgive me, all of you who like to see the foundation reviews without anything. I am at least just going to powder my nose just so I can see for myself. But overall, guys, I mean, it looks nice. I feel like the coverage is still there. My makeup is still there, like my blush, my bronzer, my highlight. Haven't touched up any of that. I will say, like, maybe right here, like, it looks a little funny. Like, you know, like it's been on for 10 hours already, which is not too bad. But it's my nose. It's my nose that I don't especially like. So we'll see tomorrow. I will, after I get done applying it in the morning, I'll pop on here and I'll tell you guys and show you guys what I used, or what I didn't use rather. But that way you can at least see what it looks like freshly applied without any primer or anything like that. So I will be back. I'll be back tomorrow, but for you, I'll see you all in a couple seconds. Hey guys, this is day 2 of me wear testing the new LA Girl Tinted Foundation. I just applied it. I'm actually in the middle of trying a new concealer as well, and let me get the concealer to show you. This is the new one from Lancome. This is their Tint Idole Ultra Wear Concealer. So I do have that on under my eye area. I apply it a little bit right there on my forehead, a little bit down my nose, a little bit on my chin, and I did use this as a spot concealer to build up right here on my cheeks, and I think it looks really, really good. It played really nicely with this new LA Girl Tinted Foundation, so I'm really happy about that. I powdered down my nose only, and for powder, I used the Urban Decay All-Nighter Loose Setting Powder, and I didn't get any funny business the way I did with the Wet n Wild powder. So far so good. I did use a little brush. I used the BK Beauty 108 brush to lightly press that powder on my nose. And I also have powder just under this eye. And that's it. So I'm not going to be adding any loose setting powder to the rest of my face. I am going to finish off the rest of my makeup. I'm going to try and just use maybe some cream-based products so that way I don't add any powder. But my highlighter will probably be a powder highlighter, but that's it. As far as like setting spray goes, I guess I'm not going to add any setting spray either. I might do Morphe, not too sure, but for me, the Morphe isn't really a setting spray. It just kind of one of the sprays I use in the process of applying my makeup. So I may or may not do that, but at least today we can see how this is going to wear without those helping products like the primer and setting powder and all that stuff. So this was my first check-in of the day. I will be back in about 5 hours so we can see how this new LA Girl Tinted Foundation is holding up on my 39-year-old normal to oily skin. Hey guys, this is the day 2 5-hour check-in with the new LA Girl Tinted Foundation. Today, I am not wearing it with any powder. All I did was powder down my nose and right under this eye since I'm trying that new Lancome concealer out. And this is how it's looking. I think it looks very fresh. I think it looks like I have a healthy glow. I have a nice dew going on. I did not use a powder highlighter either. The highlighter I have here is from the e.l.f. Electric Mood Face Quad. And so it's a cream highlighter, which I don't really feel like it's a highlighter. I feel it's more of just like an illuminator because there's no real glitter or anything. Kind of just gives my cheeks a nice dewy effect. And I love it. And normally I don't like cream highlighters and stuff like that, but I'm really liking it. For bronzer and for blush, I am using e.l.f. I'm using the new e.l.f. Putty bronzer and I'm using the e.l.f. Putty blush. The blush is in the shade Turks and Caicos and the bronzer is the darkest one that I just got. It is like number 5 in the range. It's called Bronzed Belle. And I went in really light-handed with that shade since it is a deeper shade, but I think it turned out pretty good. I'm liking the way my makeup looks. And I was wearing a mask because I just got back from the doctor's office. I was wearing a mask for a little bit and no rub off. Looks good. I'm liking the way it looks better today than I did yesterday. So this might be something that I'm thinking maybe those of you with dry skin, this might work out better for you since you don't necessarily need to powder down. But I'm definitely liking the way it looks without powder. But on my nose, it looks fine too. And that's the only place that I did put powder. So far, so good. This is why we do the 2-day wear test, guys. The 2-day wear test to try it different ways and see what's going to work. I will be back in 5 hours with the final check-in of this 2-day, 10-hour wear test and to give you guys my final thoughts on this new LA Girl Tinted Foundation. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we've come to the end of this 2-day, 10-hour wear test, trying out these new ones from LA Girl. I have to say, I like it much better today on day 2 without a full face of setting powder just on my nose. I think it actually held up really well. I think it held up much better today than it did yesterday. And again, today I didn't wear any primer. I didn't put any setting spray. I only powdered down my nose. And I think that for being 10 hours, yes, I can kind of see a little bit of my oils coming through. You know, I would like to blot. I would like to add a little bit of setting powder right now. But it's not too bad. And I definitely think my nose is pretty much in check. You know, for being 10 hours and for this being a more hydrating type of foundation, I have to say, I think my skin looks pretty decent. I will say that it hasn't really even broken up around my mouth. Like it still looks pretty good. And usually this area is like the first to break up and really start to show its signs of wear. But maybe because this is a lightweight, more thin formula consistency type of foundation, I think it's just holding up a little bit better and I really like it. The rest of my makeup is still pretty much intact. I like the way, you know, my skin looks, other than, you know, needing a little bit of a blot. I think it did much better today. So this leads me to believe that if you have normal to dry skin or full on dry skin, this might be something that you definitely want to check out. I mean, for $9, I think it's worth giving it a shot. You can build it up to medium coverage, although today I did add concealer right in here because this is the area where I want that extra coverage, and it responded really well to that concealer. And the concealer I'm wearing is the Lancome, the new Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear or All Over Concealer. And that's actually been doing okay, spoiler alert. But I'm gonna give these new ones from LA Girl a thumbs up. Actually, let's give them 2 thumbs up. I liked it. I feel like it's very lightweight. I feel like this is gonna be good for multiple skin types. If you are of a skin type like mine, even if you're full on oily, then just powder down your T-zone. I wouldn't necessarily bring the powder out here. Let your powder blush and powder bronzer kind of help mattify those areas. But I think this is going to be just fine with powdering down the T-zone, but you'd get it home and you try it for yourself. You figure out what is going to work best. But I definitely think for $9, it is worth checking out, and it did a pretty decent job of holding up on this day 2. Liked it much better today than I did yesterday. That's why we got to do these 2-day wear tests, guys, to see how the product is going to work, because some days it might just be the products, or some days it could just be our skin. So always want to give it at least a good 2-day wear test for you guys, and that way it helps you make a good buying decision. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I know a lot of you were anxious for me to be trying this one out. Your wish is my command. I am here to try out the products so that you guys don't necessarily have to do it. Although I know a lot of the fun of makeup is just trying new things, whether they work or not. I mean, who doesn't want to have new makeup in their stash? I know I do. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.